Hey guys, it's Robert, and this video is going to be the in-class demo for this JUnit assignment. So the very first thing that we want to do is to go ahead and download this subscription.java file, and I've got it downloaded over here in my downloads folder. It's right here. Next thing we want to do is to launch Eclipse, and then in Eclipse you want to create a new project and import that subscription.java file into the project. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to file new. There we go, Java project, and we're just going to call it subscription test. That's good. Click finish. There's our project. So in the project, under the source folder, we're going to create a new package called, where's it at? New package. Just going to call it subscription. So there's the new package, and in this package we want to import the folder, or rather the file that we just downloaded. So this little wizard, we want to go to the file system and browse here to the actual folder. Notice that the folder contents, the files aren't actually listed, so it is in the downloads folder. So we'll just click the downloads folder, select folder, and then all the files in that folder will actually appear in this little wizard. Just click subscription.java and click finish, and voila, there it is. So we've got subscription.java here in our project. When we open it up, there's going to be one small problem, not really a problem, it's easily fixed. Open up there. There we go. It won't have the subscription package designation. So when we click this little X right here, it'll tell us that we want to add the package declaration subscription, and then we're good to go. Now what we want to do is set up a JUnit test case for this subscription class. So up here we're going to highlight again the project name, right click, and say new Java JUnit test case. Now this will be a little bit tricky, so pay very close attention here. We're just going to call this JUnit test case, subscription test, we'll just say JUnit, like this. We want to make sure that we've got the setup and the teardown blocks checked here, and then the class under test is our subscription class. So we want to click browse here. It probably won't show up here, so simply just start typing subscription, and pretty soon we'll see it right here. So just select it, and when we click OK, we'll see that the subscription class is in the subscription package. So we're good to go. Don't click finish yet. Click next, and this will indicate that the subscription class is right here, and then the object class is also available to us. We'll talk about the object class and its role in a class hierarchy when we talk about inheritance next week. For right now, just click subscription and then click finish. Make sure that we have the add JUnit 5 library to build path. Just click OK, and voila, there we go. Here is our subscription test case with the setup, the teardown, and then the test case methods for each one of our methods, for the constructor and for the price per month and for the cancel. So if we're going to actually test this subscription class, we need a couple of subscription objects. So let's go right up here, and we're just going to create a couple of references to the subscription class. Subscription S1, comma S2, just like this. Okay. Now in setup, this is where we actually want to instantiate these two subscription objects. So we're going to say S1, assignment operator, new, subscription, and in order to instantiate this object, we have to indicate the values that we want to pass to the subscription class. So let's go back over here quickly, and we'll say that we need a value for the price and a value for the length. So let's put our price at 200 and our length as 3. Once again, that means that the price is in euro cent. So we're going to pass 200 here for P, and that will be assigned to price, and 3 for the length in months, that will be assigned to length. So that's what this subscription constructor will do. Then we'll do the same thing for the S2 object. S2 assignment operator new subscription. In this case, let's say that we want 300 euro cent and the length is 2 months. Now, if we put our thinking hats on, we'll see, we'll be able to determine that if I have a subscription of 200 euro cent for 3 months, and the price per month is supposed to return the subscription price in euro rounded to the nearest cent, then what I want to do over here is take this 200, divide it by 3, round that up to the nearest euro cent. And when I do all that, I'll get 0.67 as the subscription price for this particular, or as the price for this subscription. So it'll be 67 euro cent per month, or 0.67 euros per month for 3 months. In this case, 300 divided by 2, that's pretty easy. It's just going to be 1.5 euro, or 1 euro and 50 cents per month. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the setup method will execute before each one of these test methods executes. Then the teardown method will execute after each of these methods executes. So for the teardown, we simply want to say S1 assignment, S2 assignment, null. We just want to set both of those reference variables back to null so that the garbage collector will come along and free up this memory. Once again, when we execute this subscription unit test case, setup will run, then test subscription will run, then teardown will run. Then setup will run again, test price per month will run, and then teardown will run. And then setup will run for the third time, test cancel will run, and then teardown will run. What this allows us to do is to test each of these, or to, implement each of these test methods so that each of them will be independent from any of the other methods in the our test case here. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go back and take a look at the constructor right here. In order for us to test the constructor, what we need to do is to make sure that the price is actually set to the parameter P, and that the length is actually set to parameter N. So over here in the subscription test, well, before I do that, let's go ahead and run this subscription test suite to see what happens. We can come back over here and just make sure that the subscription unit junit.java is highlighted, and then we'll just run it. And when we do that, we'll get this little dialog, or this little tab that will appear right here for the JUnit. And notice that the bar is red, and each of these has an X in it, meaning that none of these tests passed. That's because they have this fail method, because we haven't actually implemented the test yet. Just come up here and take a look at the subscription. And what we want to do is test the values of the length and the price. So we can use an assert equals method, and we want to assert the price, actually the price first. Come back here. Price is equal to 200, because that's what when this constructor gets called, price will be assigned the value 200. But notice that we've got this X right here, this red X. Price cannot be resolved to a variable, and that's because over here price is actually a private field, and so we can't access it directly outside the class. So what we're going to have to do is to come over here and create a get price method. we can do that very easily if we put our cursor right here, come over here to source, and the cursor down to generate getters and setters. So for the length, we want to generate a get length, and for the price, we want to generate a get price. Make sure that they're public. Generate method comments, that's check, and click generate. And there we go. Our get price and our get length methods are generated automatically for us. Now, in our subscription test, over here we're going to say, instead of saying price, we're going to say S1 dot, and we're going to say get price. And so when we run this test subscription, if our constructor has worked properly, 200 will be assigned to price, get price will return 200, that will be compared to 200, and this method will, the assert equals will be true. We can also use an assert true method that looks like this. We're going to say S1 dot get length is exactly equal to 3, because that's what we set it to up here. Now this method is all set up, so when we go ahead and run this test case again, in this case, if everything works properly, then yes, the test subscription, this test method, the little green check mark appears here, so this test method is validating the fact that our subscription constructor is working properly. So hopefully that made sense. Let's take a look at the test cancel method. Over here, our cancel method simply sets length equal to 0. That means that the subscription is canceled. So for the test cancel method, let's just comment out the fail, and then let's take a look at assert equals. In this case, we're going to say S2 dot get length, comma, 2. Because when we created the subscription object, we set the length to 2. So before we do anything else, this should give us a passing condition. So if we run the test, yeah, test cancel works, but that's not what we really want to check out. What we want to really check out is after we call the cancel method, what should our get length be? So let's just copy this statement right here. In this case, once we call the cancel method, the get length should be set to 0, so it should return the value 0. So now when we run the test case again, the test cancel method is now, the test cancel test method is working properly because it's returning the proper value for get length before we call cancel and the get length after we call cancel. So that test is now valid. Alright, so what we want to do now is to set up the test price per month method. So let's go back and take a look at what this method is supposed to do for us. Well, we have to write this method so that it passes the subscription price in euro according to the specifications here. So the price is the subscription total price in euro cent per month, rounded up to the nearest cent. So we kind of figured out over here that for this particular object, that price should be 67, and the price down here should be 1.5. So in our test price per month, we want to do something like this. Assert equals S1 dot get, I'm sorry, come back down here, price per month, comma, for S1 it should be 0.67, 0.67, and then assert true S2 dot price per month exactly equal to 1.5. And let's make sure we got this commented out correctly. Now, it doesn't matter if we use assert equals or assert true. They both serve the same purpose, and that is to test the condition of the return value for price per month, in this case 0.067 or 0.67 for S1, or price per month equals 1.5 for S2. Now when we run this test, this method will still fail because we haven't actually done anything over here in the method. We're just returning 0. So now what we want to do is to create this method, or write a statement or statements in this method that actually produces the correct price per month based on the current price and length for the object. So go ahead and construct this method or implement this method so that for this object the price returned is 0.67, and for this object the price returned is 1.5. So go ahead and do whatever you need to do to calculate the price per month based on whatever the value of P and N are, so that it meets this criteria right here. Hopefully that helps. That should get you started in finishing up this project. Again, this is just the in-class demo that we didn't go through because this is an online class. But hopefully this will give you an idea of what the JUnit testing is supposed to, how it's supposed to be set up. And this again is the pattern for a class that has one or more methods in it, and the JUnit test case with a test method for each one of those methods in the class that's under examination. Alright, good luck. I know you do a great job with this assignment. Take care.